The first trailer I did was 50-50. It was a comedy, and we know this because there's loads of, it's always really light, the people always look quite happy, or they're laughing. It started off with these two characters, the protagonists, and they're both famous people, so immediately the film is like being sold to these people's fan base and stuff. So that's attracting people. And then we see Anna Kendrick, so it's probably a romantic comedy. We want to watch more because we're told, because this dude shaves his head and everything, we're told from the beginning that it's a dramatic comedy as well about a man battling cancer, so we immediately want to know how it ends, obviously. Next film is Super. This is like a more family comedy because it's very stylistic, uses animation and stuff. We want to watch more because it's such a strange film, like about a man who wants to be a superhero and stuff, and we want to know why he wants to do this and why these people choose such a peculiar lifestyle. It's not a usual film, so we're intrigued. Then this is clearly an action film, Fast 5. It's introduced to us with the setting, which is Brazil, because of the Jesus. And so Brazil has quite like connotations of maybe corruption, kind of like anti-law sometimes in some areas, so we know there's probably going to be some illegal goings on, and there's loads of shots of like car crashes, guns, all these like stunning cars and stuff, so we know it's an action movie, and also with the women and stuff dressing quite provocatively, you know, it's probably aimed at men. Then I did Priest, which is also an action movie, action adventure. We're introduced with this sign, so you know there's probably religious connotations involved. All the shots have like a blue theme, which is usually associated with masculinity, so it's probably aimed at men again. The whole genre is usually advertised to men. This guy's standing in a defensive stance, so it's probably, you know, some martial arts kind of movement, and there's lots of animation and stuff, so it's like an adventure action. So. Then I did a horror, The Bleeding House. The title, the way that the way it's all in red and everything, we know that this is a horror because it's associated with death and blood and stuff, and all the blood on the windows and stuff, so we know that there's going to be some bloodshed. It uses low-key light and hard lighting throughout. It's always dark in the shots, so we know it's quite spooky. You know, it's not going to be a comedy. And there's like knives often used, which compared to guns are normally associated with horror, because while guns are more like action, a knife can cause more pain, so it's often more associated with horror and death and stuff. And then my last trailer is Red State, which is fantastic. It also uses red writing, so it's also associated with death and blood, and we also know it's a horror. We see the opening shot is like a woman standing in front of a cross, so we know that there's like religious connotations. We also hear in the background of the trailer a man singing a religious song, which is quite creepy, and we know that there's going to be revolved around religion, which is often a serious subject in terms of movies. Here we see, if you can see, a guy's feet, but we don't see anything else, which is quite scary because, like in Reservoir Dogs, the scene where the camera turns away from the guy in the classic warehouse scene, it's often those kind of shots are used, like, so you don't see the action. is kind of more scary because you're left with your imagination. And the facial expressions of the characters are like crying, they've got blood on them, so we know it's a horror, and that's it.